Breaking developments involving Virginia's Governor Ralph Northam. An explosive image surfacing from his medical yearbook page in 1984. The page shows two men, one in blackface, the other dressed as a member of the Ku Klux Klan. It was first posted by a conservative website just a short time ago. The governor admitting one of those men is him. ABC's David Curley leads us off.
Calls tonight for Virginia's governor to resign because of this photo. One person in blackface, one in a Ku Klux Klan robe. It's part of Democrat Ralph Northam's 1984 medical school yearbook page. While the other pictures show Northam in a hat and sitting against a Corvette, he's not identified in the photo in question. Virginia Republican leaders saying tonight racism has no place in Virginia, and if Northam is in that picture, he should resign immediately. It comes as Northam, who is also a doctor, is under fire for his comments in support of a Virginia bill that would lift restrictions on late-term abortions. Conservatives accusing Northam of essentially supporting infanticide.
The governor overwhelmed tonight by calls to resign, the list growing over a racist photo from his medical school yearbook. His own explanations adding to the chaos. The image shows one man in blackface, the other dressed as a member of the Ku Klux Klan. Governor Northam first admitting he is one of the men pictured, then denying he's in the photo. Tonight, the governor is now asking his own cabinet for more time to decide his next move. ABC Chief National Affairs Correspondent Tom Yamas in Richmond tonight.
Tonight, the calls for Governor Ralph Northam to resign are growing, but the Virginia Democrat refusing to step down. The trouble started when this racist photo emerged from his medical school yearbook page. At first, Northam confirmed he was one of the two men in the photo. But the next day,
I believe then and now that I am not either of the people in that photo.
But then Northam admitted he had appeared in blackface once before, during a dance contest in 1984 where he dressed as Michael Jackson.
I had the shoes, I had a glove, and I used just a little bit of shoe polish to put under on my cheeks. And the reason I used a very little bit is because I don't know if anybody's ever tried that, but you cannot get shoe polish off.
And when a reporter inquired if he could still moonwalk, the governor seemed to want to try.
Are you still able to moonwalk?
Inappropriate circumstances.
My wife says inappropriate circumstances.
Our Zachary Quiche asking him this question.
Do you think as a grown adult that it's problematic that you need to have it explained to you that blackface is offensive?
No, I'm not a person of color, and people of color experience different things. It affects them different ways.
Nearly every politician in Virginia has called on Northam to resign. So have virtually all the Democrats running for president. And if he ultimately takes their advice, Lieutenant Governor Justin Fairfax is next in line.
Flags held high, AR-15s slung over their shoulders. These protesters say they're here to fight for the future of their country.
Gun saves lives. I mean, it's obvious.
It's our God-given right to protect ourselves, our family.
It's America, right? We live free.
Virginia, the latest flashpoint in the gun debate sweeping the country.
Virginia tightening security ahead of a protest defending the Second Amendment as it's under assault there.
Monday's rally comes in response to 3 new gun control bills.
Governor Ralph Blackface Northam downplaying Democrats' plans to strip people of their Second Amendment rights.
More than 20,000 gun rights advocates descended on Richmond today for what used to be a small annual event. A state of emergency declared. The crowd protesting the state's efforts to overhaul gun laws.
As Virginia goes, so does the rest of the nation. That's what I believe.
The rally just got underway. An officer told me they expected about 10,000 people here inside on the Capitol grounds, but outside on the streets, there are thousands more.
Gun owners came to push back. Michelle Thomas says she carries a gun every day.
I am a single female, and I think it makes a big difference in my life.
Michael Mumford is part of a group called Black Guns Matter.
You need to be prepared to protect what's yours at all times. And that's life.
Trump tweeting today that Democrats are working hard to take away your Second Amendment rights. This is just the beginning. Virginia currently has some of the weakest gun laws in the nation, according to the Giffords Law Center.
The people showing up right here sends a message to Governor Northam and the Democrats that our rights shall not be infringed. These infringements are unconstitutional, so we're going to challenge them all the way up to the Supreme Court.
The Geary family of 6 drove 100 miles to be here today.
I value our constitutional rights and
right to bear arms, I think, is very important. And if I don't do it for them, then they won't have those rights that I grew up with.
Is that why you wanted to bring them out here with you today, to show them an example?
I think it's important for them to learn early that you need to take an active role in protecting your rights and voicing your opinion.
6-year-old Charlie just beginning to understand the lessons his father's teaching him. From families to those in costume invoking the founding fathers.
So you're armed. What did you bring with you?
This rifle is a Colt rifle.
We see it?
It's more than 60 years old. This rifle wasn't a problem 30 years ago. Wasn't a problem 20 years ago necessarily. Why is it a problem today?
Today's protest was peaceful, but that's not what authorities were expecting. Last week, Governor Ralph Northam imposed a temporary weapons ban on the designated protest area around the Capitol building.
We're seeing threats of violence. We're seeing threats of armed confrontation and assault on our Capitol.
But rally-goers still bore arms today, pouring out into the surrounding streets where weapons were not banned.
Why did you want to be armed today?
I think it's important. I carry all the time anyways, not necessarily AR-15, but, you know, just to show that it is a right that we do have. I think all women should learn how to use a firearm and carry with them on a regular basis. It's a great feeling of protection.
These white politicians in leftist-run cities want to take away black women's rights to protect ourselves. I just think it's ridiculous.
That's what they do. It's like a mascot. They put you in front, and then they run their agenda in the back.
When you look at the history of gun control, it was used to take away guns from minorities and the black men and women who just wanted to protect their family. If anything, you would want black men and women to be able to protect their families from anybody trying to break in.
It all started with them taking away your guns. You can't protect yourself. You're gonna, okay, it's fine for the police to protect you, but what if they can't get to you fast enough?
Voices from inside the Capitol and out. This debate over guns and the right to bear arms, as old as our country itself.
The Lee statue was built in France. And when it arrived by boat on the James River docks, it took 10,000 citizens, 10,000, and a whole lot of rope to haul 3 large crates out into the tobacco field where it would be installed. Some business people put it out in the field so they could eventually build a housing development around it and make money. And it worked. This happened in May of 1890, 20 years after Lee died and a generation after the Civil War ended. 150,000 people came out when the statue was unveiled. Almost every one of those 150,000 people waved Confederate flags. I'm no historian.